Imagine a narrow stretch of ocean so critical that if it shuts down for even a few days, the entire global economy starts to panic. That's the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point that carries 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil traded in the world. Now imagine a missile lands near it. Right now, rising tensions between Iran and Israel aren't just triggering military alerts, they're sending shockwaves through oil markets, global trade, and even the tech supply chain. And while the headlines focus on airstrikes and political speeches, there's a different kind of battle being fought. So what's really at stake here? Who's vulnerable if this war escalates? And more importantly, who's already making money from it? Let's start with the Strait of Hormuz. It's just 21 miles wide, but every day, around 20% of the world's oil and a quarter of its liquefied natural gas passes through it. If it's blocked or even threatened, the consequences go global. Oil prices spike, shipping routes get disrupted, insurance costs go up, and the ripple effects hit everything from fuel prices in Europe to electricity costs in India to the price of imported goods across Africa. This isn't just a regional tension, it's a pressure point for the entire global economy. Every time oil prices jumps, someone somewhere is making a lot of money. Let's break it down. First, the obvious winners. National oil giants like Saudi Aramco, ADNOC in the UAE, and Qatar Energy. The higher the price, the more cash they pull in. Simple math. Then you've got the American shale producers. When prices are high, they ramp up production and sell fast. No OPEC coordination needed. But the ones who really thrive in moments like this, they're the commodity traders. Names like Vital, Glencore, and Trafigura. These guys don't produce oil, they move it, and volatility is where they thrive. For them, chaos isn't a crisis, it's a business model. In one previous conflict, Glencore made over $5 billion in trading profits, not from oil wells, but from spreadsheets and timing. And then there's insurance. Marine insurers like Lloyd's of London quietly hike premiums every time a tanker is at risk. Shippers have no choice but to pay up, so while most of the world sees war and worry, these players see dollar signs. Conflict in the Gulf means companies need a plan B fast. Shipping giants like Maersk and COSCO are rerouting their fleets, avoiding risky waters and charging higher rates. That creates new winners in logistics. Ports in India like Mundra Port and JNPA suddenly become more valuable as safer alternatives. East African ports, including Mombasa and Djibouti, gain global visibility overnight. Even Turkey and Greece are seeing more interest as Europe looks for backup trade routes. Behind the scenes, logistics tech platforms and rerouting consultancies are seeing a spike in demand. In global trade, disruption doesn't just slow things down, it reshuffles power. This story isn't just about oil, it's about the industries downstream, especially tech. Chips don't make themselves. The fabs in Taiwan, Korea, and India rely on stable energy inputs, much of it from the Gulf. When LNG shipments get delayed, production slows. That means delays in electronics, EVs, and artificial intelligence infrastructure. But once again, there are winners. United States and Australian LNG exporters see demand surge. Energy storage firms, the ones holding oil in tanks, waiting to sell at peak cash out big. And renewables and grid startups, they get a boost in funding as governments scramble for energy independence. Even battery companies benefit. In a world where energy is weaponized, anyone building stability becomes valuable. Now let's talk about the most obvious business in war: weapons. Israel's defense companies like Elbit Systems, Rafael, and Israel Aerospace Industries are global suppliers. From drones to missile defense systems, every new order adds millions to their bottom line. And it's not just local. These firms export to dozens of countries, especially after showing their systems work in real conflict. Then there's the United States defense industry, Raytheon Technologies, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, all ready to supply allies or restock inventories. But today's warfare isn't just kinetic, it's digital. Cybersecurity firms are seeing a spike in demand as governments and companies brace for attacks on banks, infrastructure, and data centers. From bombs to bytes, war is a full-stack business. But what happens outside the immediate conflict zone? Let's look at India first. It gets more than 80% of its oil from the Gulf. So a war here means rising energy bills, inflation, and pressure on its import-heavy economy. But it also forces India to diversify faster, toward renewables, local refineries, and alternative suppliers. China plays both sides. It buys Iranian oil at a discount, invests in Gulf infrastructure, and positions itself as a peace broker, all while securing its own energy future. Africa, as always, feels the second-hand shock. higher import costs, delays on goods, rising inflation, but oil exporting nations like Nigeria or Angola could actually benefit if they can handle the increased demand. So in the end, war isn't just about armies or politics, it's about margins. And whoever controls the disruption controls the profits.